As a docpreneur, if I have to ask for 5 tips for somebody who's starting that bootstrapping journey or as an entrepreneur, any word of advice, pearls of wisdom there?
So when I was a pure doctor back in US, I used to sort of not like admin work. We call it admin work, and we used to hate ourselves for that. Why am I doing this admin work or putting someone's roster? Trust me, as a docpreneur, you'll do 10 times more. So don't become a docpreneur if you're not willing to put up with those extra yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of extra yards, a lot of admin work, there are days when I do probably 90% admin and 10% clinical. So it's possible. It's perfectly possible. So one do is that.
Mm-hmm.
Second do is almost all the time, and this is because of that unlearning that I keep talking. As a doctor, you need to unlearn some of your rigidity. The one way of doing it, the one medicine for fever, the one medicine for typhoid. You're programmed to have this one thing. You have to let go of it. You have to unlearn it.
This is universal for
all
sectors.
All sectors, but definitely for doctors. In all segments also. So if you feel you can't do it, get a professional. Suppose you're not able to, let's say I was giving the example of permissions to get a hospital. You don't know how to get it. Get a liaison guy who knows and has done it. I mean, don't keep going to the same office saying, I filled this form, Well, they don't care if you fill the form, right? So there are you'll hit roadblock. It's not going to happen. Third, sacrifice. You will sacrifice a fair amount of money, time, and a lot of good things to become a docpreneur.
What's that? Good things.
A lot of things.
Everything in between.
Time, a lot of free time. For example, if I did the same varicose surgery, if I took my patient to Apollo and performed it, I'll get a 30-40% share of my revenue. Right? As your own hospital owner, I give myself only 10%. Because how else will you run the departments, right? You have to pay salaries. So you will, all service guys who start small and grow will see this at some time in their life.
You're basically pumping in everything
Yes.
for the small plant to become a big tree.
Big tree. But then it gets bigger, it gets very big. There's no way we do 400 surgeries per month in AVIS.
Oh.
There's no way I'll do 400 with one guy just fiddling around in 2 hospitals, right? It's not going to happen. But I would make per case much more.
Got
it. So some people keep confusing them. There is business, there is clinic. Business mein you need forecasting, you need foreseeable future, you need this much of business to come. ये clinic run करने में ना आज नहीं आए तो ना सही कल आ जाएगा. So there's a different thinking, right? A lot of doctors don't know the difference. They think, if I did 400, then I should get 400 to 40%. You won't get yaar. There's no such business where you get 400 to 40%.
It's just like the quantity game, quality game.
Yeah.
So यहाँ पे margins कम है, यहाँ पर numbers कम है, but margins ज़्यादा है. So which is more gratifying or I don't know, satisfying?
It depends on you. What do you want from life? If you're a guy who wants to go for a nice European holiday every 3 months, it's probably, doing few is better. If you're a guy with like me who's saying, look, my target is 400 is nothing, in 5 years I'm going to hit 2,000 surgeries per month. No, I want a bigger system, right? So it all depends on what your goals are.
The why,
right? The why behind exit. So this is very important. You need to sacrifice. And the fourth thing is, again, I always used to be a little selfish, in front of things. If I did something well, I would always, if you're an entrepreneur, you should stand behind. You can't, if you want a successful entrepreneur, you have to find the guy who does his job well and stand one step behind them and say, you do it, I'll watch. And they may make a mistake, but still you have to do it. And I'll cover for you. If you don't do this, you will not build your next generation. And if you don't build a generation, you will not grow again. So it's sort of an interlocking thing. So I can easily do that. I can, for example, I can operate in Bangalore also. If I say I'll come once a week and I'll do 4 or 5 surgeries here, I can come every Monday and go Monday evening. It's just a 1-hour flight from Hyderabad. But if I don't stand behind the doctor here and say, look, you take over, you keep some of the revenue. And if any problem happens, I'm here, right behind you. If you don't delegate and build, you'll fall. And this happens in all segments, not just doctors. So all the time leaders have to stand behind. There's no question about it. And last thing is, it's probably a little more than, people ask me, are you not stressed? Is your family not stressed? I mean, how are they putting up with the 7-day work weeks and all? The last thing is, I told them, the only way I can keep you happy is if I'm happy. Right? And if I have this, this circle of life where I'm enjoying it and I have this vibe in the evening, even for 10 minutes, I'll spend much more quality time with you guys than if I were to spend all day with you with a grumpy face, right? If I'm not doing something I didn't enjoy. So there is some compromise I did make there. But I always told them that. And I've been very lucky, and, they understood this very well. The kids have been fantastic as well. But that's something you'll have to ask yourself the question. Very often, this docpreneur, it sucks your time. It sucks a lot of your time. You're looking at 60, 70-hour work weeks, week after week. And when you do that, how do you convince the people who are with you, next to you, saying, why are you always on the phone? Why are you answering this mail? Why are you seeing this Excel for the 5th time? Well, what do you do, right? But having said that, I think this me club that I have, and all of us should have a little me club,
What's that?
A club for yourself, whether you're the CEO, and before you let anyone in, they need your permission. That's me club. I call it a me club, which means I, in this club, have to be very happy. Only then I can reflect this happiness to others, right? So it's not being selfish if it sounds a bit like that, but it's not. So you need to have that kind of understanding of what you're doing and make people understand that too. These are a few things that I learned.